Good evening. We'll call public hearing for 625 for the rezoning request from OS to C4 or North Dixie Highway. Roll call, please.
Ms. Bourne?
Here.
Mr. Coleman?
Here.
Ms. Materney?
Here.
Mr. McCarthy? Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Van Huzen?
Here.
Mr. Weber?
Here. Walters, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Mayor and members of City Council. The matter at hand this evening is a rezoning request for 24397 North Dixie Highway. As the Mayor indicated, this rezoning request is from office and service to C4 Highway Commercial. It's probably still relatively fresh, this particular rezoning request, in that it mirrors the recent Black Diamond property. We have relatively few office and service properties in the city, but this is one of those along State Route 25. This particular property is located south of 5 Point Road on the west side of State Route 25 and slightly north of the entrance drive to St. John, the 23rd Church. I've reviewed this request. This is consistent with the city's desire to have an economic and commercial corridor along State Route 25. This would arguably enhance the commercial activity on this particular property, and as well as potentially set the precedent for other rezonings in this area, as there are neighboring properties that are also zoned office and service that may not be making its highest and best use of the property. I've indicated here the adjacent zoning we see. There's a residential use, agricultural, and then also the mobile home park located to the south and to the west of this property. This property is slightly over 1 acre in size, and this would be consistent with the direction that we're going for the current land use plan, or I should say the proposed land use plan. So it's not like any action tonight based on the recommendation would be going against the anticipated outcome of that land use plan. This issue was taken up in October by the Planning Commission, where it was recommended unanimously 6-0 to rezone this, or excuse me, to make a recommendation to City Council to rezone this property from office and service to C4 Highway Commercial. Additionally, we did not receive any concerns, complaints, or support for the rezoning from the public. It was radio silence.
Mr. Walters, do you know what this is going to be for, in particular, the thoughts behind it, whatever they think you can do?
Are you saying what the product would be after it's rezoned?
That is correct.
I believe this is just a speculative rezoning. I don't know that they have an end user in mind. If they do, I've not been told that.
So just to clarify, when I was looking at the maps earlier today and pulling it back up, I know that there's, 3 parcels that are zoned office space, and this is only for the one?
Correct. This is not the entirety of the office and service area. This is what is being held by this particular owner.
And when we did the State Route 25 corridor overlay, this was included in that, correct? If I remember.
Any property that directly abuts State Route 25 and takes access, yes.
And what was the recommendations that came from that again? Did we have any recommendations on anything on the zoning on that?
Well, the land use plan has identified this as being in that corridor, and if you look at the consistency of what we've tried to establish in that corridor, it's primarily a C4 highway commercial function. So the definition of what this is trying to accomplish here now, it's defined as areas fronting on major highways and utilized for all types of businesses, especially those that serve the traveling motorist and patrons throughout the community. So this is consistent with the design, and I believe what the intent of both the current and proposed land use plan would be, which is a higher intensity commercial use.
That's all I have.
Any other questions for council?
I was at Planning Commission. I heard everything. I'm good.
Have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Brody, just for the record, the 620 rezoning request withdrawn.
Yes, that was withdrawn by the applicant. We had a couple folks here show